Are you a lockpicker struggling to open a lock? Then today I've got 6 tips for you that will help you crack that lock very soon. Welcome to Lockwarts. My name is Professor Lockhart, and with today's episode I'm launching a new segment in the Lockwarts universe, the Lockwarts Lessons. We are starting with a phenomenon every beginner and every advanced lockpicker knows all too well. You've reached a certain level and now want to improve your skill by tackling a more difficult lock. But sooner or later you run into a lock you simply can't open. When that happens, there are some obvious methods and also a few surprisingly unknown special tricks that can help you. Let's start with the obvious. Tip 1. Gather as much information about the lock as possible. Check the LPU belt list to find out which security pins are installed, watch videos from other lockpickers or exchange ideas with the community. You'll find helpful links in the video description. Tip 2. Of course, you should experiment with choosing the right picking tools, bottom of the keyway or top of the keyway tensioners, and as always, the amount of tension you apply. Find out what works best for you and for the lock. I'll come back to the topic of proper pick selection in a moment. Tip 3. If you have an Eurocylinder that can be opened in both directions, the turning direction can also make a difference. Try both directions and once again find out what works best for you and the lock. Now let's move on to the special tricks, which I would like to divide into 2 cases: when you own a guttable lock and when you can't take the lock apart. Tip 4. If you can gut the lock, take it apart and first look only at the core with the key pins. Using the right pick, can you reach all the pins and push them to the shear line without risking oversetting the others? In this case, you can see how pin 3 is very long and therefore likely to be overset when you try to reach pin 4 and 5. Tip 5. Remove all driver pins and key pins, then reinstall 1 or 2 pin pairs to figure out how they interact and how the pins behave when being set. Try different chamber combinations and then gradually add the remaining pins back in until all pin pairs are installed again. Tip 6. Get yourself a repinnable cutaway lock like this one from Multipick. I'll put a link to the product in the video description. There are so many ways this can help you improve because you can recreate pinnings and actually see how the pins interact and how they behave. If you're dealing with an unguttable lock that's driving you crazy, this can also help because using your knowledge of security pins and the key, you can recreate the pinning. Install the likely security pins, information you can get for example from the LPU belt list, into the Bible and place the key pins into the core. That way you can practice picking your actual lock using your cutaway lock. Those were my 6 tips that will hopefully help you climb the next level in lockpicking, continue improving your skills and finally crack that one damn lock that just refuses to open. Which tips would you add? What experience have you had with one or another of these methods already? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you enjoyed the video and maybe it even helped you already, I'd really appreciate a like and a Lockwarts subscription. That's it for this episode of Lockwarts Lesson. Take care and see you soon in Lockwarts.